Okay, so we just released our gospel mixing template for Studio One, and it is now available. You can get it on the website. Link is down below, so make sure you jump over there and grab it. But in this video, I'm just going to overview the template really quickly and really fast, just to kind of show you what's all included with this and how you can get up and mixing really quick and really fast. So in order to use this template, first of all, you're going to need to have Studio One version 6 professional, at least at bare minimum, or a Studio One Plus subscription. If you have like Artist, this template will open up inside of Artist, but you might have to purchase some add-ons in order to make this work, okay? So with that out the way, let's dig into the template itself. When you open it up for the first time, this is kind of how you will see it. It's pretty much laid out pretty simply and pretty easily. But what I'm going to do is close the mixer here, and we're going to talk about the buses and routing really quickly. So we got everything set up into 2 folders. You have all music and all Vox, for instance. So you have all of your Vox tracks here, your background vocals, your tenors, your altos, your sopranos. They're each on buses. Your lead is on a bus. You have all of your delays and parallel compression and everything loaded inside of each group bus or what have you. So you can easily close those. Same with the music. You have the drums bus. You have buses for the cymbals, buses for the toms. You have buses for the percussion, bass, guitars, acoustics. We have buses for keys, aux. We have horns. You're going to love that. Gotta have, what's a gospel song without horns, right? So we have that. And on each one of these channels, we have what we have set up as some basic kind of EQ compression settings. Nothing too major, just basic compression EQ to just kind of get you started. This is definitely not a drop all of your files in and it's going to mix it for you template. You still have to know how to mix in order to use this template. But with that said, we've given you some pretty simple and easy kind of, starter points you can start for snare and kick and things like that. And we have some drum samples, which I'm going to talk about in just a little bit. But you'll have all of those things in here laid out and kind of ready to go. All right. So one thing you'll find when you open up the mixer area is that we have everything set in groups. All of the tracks, the guitars, the keys, the vocals, everything is set on a group. So you can easily change parameters for each group. So for instance, if you want to turn down all the percussion tracks, you can click on the perc group and you can easily turn down the volume on those tracks or what have you. And it will work just fine with the same way with every group that we have. In addition to groups, we also have what we call mix scene set up. So say if you just want to focus on the percussion, the drums at the same time and get all of the other tracks out of the way, you can easily double click here on the drums and perc scene, and that is all you will see in the mixer. And also in the arrangement area, all you will see is just the drums and the perc. Same goes if you just want to mess with the bass, the guitars. Again, in the mixer, all it reflects is just the guitars. If I click on keys, there you have that. Aux, you have all your aux tracks. So it makes it a really cool way to kind of jump in and out and go back and forth across all of your tracks and edit and move all in there. If you just want to work from the buses, you can double click the buses, and now all you will have is bus tracks in your mixer and in your arrangement area. It just kind of cleans up the arrangement and gets everything out of the way that you're not using or that you need at that moment, okay? So if you ever just want to get back to all the tracks, you can easily just double click all tracks and all of those will pop back up. You'll see all of your track lists over here. You can, see all of those down in that area. And that's pretty much the lay of the land of the template itself. You just drop your files in. Everything is routed and organized the way that it needs to be. And as we know with mixing, organization is at least 60 to 70% of the battle. Once you can get organized and get your stuff routed, then you can easily mix a track with no problems. Now, earlier I mentioned that there are some drum samples that come with this template. So we included a kick sample. This sounds like this. We have We have a snare sample, and we also included a rim shot sample. And you'll find these samples, these hard samples themselves inside of the samples folder inside of the download that you have. But you can add in any of these other samples that you want just by replacing the sample on C3 on any of these particular tracks, all right? But how you use them in the template itself, I have some drums loaded up here that I can play for you real quickly. Let's just play those. So if we want to kind of add a trigger to the snare and use the snare trigger, there's a couple of ways that we can do this. The first way is to literally just go over here to the snare trigger track, and over here where it says all inputs under N, switch it to the snare gate, and then we can mute the snare top and snare bottom, and you'll get this. So you'll hear it there. That's the quickest and easiest way to do it. And how this works is on the snare track itself, and on the kick and the rim shot, there is a gate and there's a trigger little section inside of the gate that sends the note out to trigger to the snare trigger track and rim trigger and so on and so forth. That's one way to do it, but the way that I prefer to do it, which you can get a little bit more into the details and be able to edit the track a little bit more and have more control, is to go to the quantize section here in your top toolbar, grab the snare or kick or rim, and just drop it on the groove section and it'll analyze it. Now, you might be in grid mode, it'll look like this, but you go to groove, drag it up there. Once you've done that, you can grab, just click and grab, and literally drag this down to the snare trigger track. And now when you press play, now I'm triggering that from there. And you can do the same thing with the kick or the rim. It's the exact same process. And I like using it that way. Personally, I think that's the best way to do it. You have all of your mixer plugins, all using stock plugins, no third-party plugins needed. We even have master bus processing on here, so you can get that final polished mix locked and loaded in here as well, with all of the goodies and all of the limiters and all of that. And then you even have post effects down here that you can use for monitoring your mix as you kind of go to see what lufts you are at and all of those things for those who get geeky and all of those things. So that's pretty much the template. Studio One, remember you have to have Studio One 6 or a subscription to Studio One 6 Plus, or have the professional version of Studio One 6, or it will open an artist again, but you will need to have some of those add-in purchases that you'll need to get with that. So that is all I wanted to show you guys today. Make sure you hit the link down below and it will take you to the page where you can get it. It's on sale this week because this is the intro price. If you're watching after the fact, you're probably paying full price for it, but you know, hey, you know, this is the time to get in and grab it. We also have some other mixing templates for sale for other DAWs, for Logic Pro, both for the desktop and the iPad. We also have templates for sale for Pro Tools that you can grab. And yeah, we got some other ones coming, so we appreciate you guys supporting us over the years. We will talk to you guys on the next one. I'm out. Holla at your boy.